At the heart of every successful business are the ability to properly plan business development activities in the long term and short term. It is not enough to react to the various strategies being deployed by competitors, which may be detrimental to the firm, because not all firms should implement the same strategies. What works for one firm might be an insufficient or counterintuitive strategy to dabble into. In this part of the course, we will explore what you should look out for when creating a business development plan for your firm. It is important to start with ensuring that your team understands the purpose of a business development plan, which is simply to set realistic goals and targets to help the firm attract more business, close more deals, become more visible compared to its competitors. For these to be possible, the firm would need to plan for the right tactics that ensure a steady inflow of prospects that can be converted into clients of the firm. The process can be converted to business development strategy documents, which is a high-level document for executives at the firm to effectively update and review the various business development strategies that have been implemented over the years. Which document will be most valuable to the firm may have all the variations of it created for the various practice areas of the firm. The data obtained from the continuous assessment of each department's performance can also serve as a factor for choosing new strategies to include in the business development plan. For some of our clients in countries like Nigeria and Ghana, this process typically includes partners, senior associates and associates at the firm understanding the key roles they play in the proper implementation of the strategies. Managing partners and other partners alike tend to have a larger role to play when it comes to the development of business development strategies. Having a business development team is an added advantage for a firm because it would involve professionals dedicated to researching and documenting the various business development strategies that the firm is implementing and should implement. Depending on what strategies are chosen for inclusion in the business development plan, this team would play a key role in the implementation process, thereby reducing the workload of lawyers when it comes to attracting and converting the right leads for the firm. Law firms are only able to pivot in terms of their size and market share when they are able to involve professional business development and marketing personnel to increase their chances of converting more leads and dominating the market. Running a smaller firm without a business development team doesn't necessarily mean that you are at a disadvantage. A smaller firm can adopt some of the strategies being deployed by larger firms and still make progress. The key here is ensuring that lawyers at the firm are taking enough time to work on their business development goals. We will now be exploring some of how you can properly plan your business development at your firm and adequately implement and measure the results. Prioritizing the client. Every law firm established to make a profit understands that the client's needs should always be at the forefront of every business development decision. At the end of the day, the clients will be the ones paying for the services and also making the most impactful referrals for future business for the firm. It is also important for the firm to identify the type of prospects it seeks to service and deploy the right type of strategies that will get their attention the most. Sales and persuasion skills will come in handy here because we will be exploring this topic in greater detail when we address the various ways to effectively generate and convert leads for the firm. Vision and mission. The vision and mission of a firm are at the core of its identity, which is why we are starting at this point. Being able to craft a vision and mission statement that covers what the firm is all about will determine how well the team performs in their business development efforts, and also it will determine how effectively the firm can communicate with the right group of prospects. Many businesses struggle to come up with the right vision and mission for their firm, which is a rewarding process if approached correctly. By definition, a mission statement clarifies what the firm wants to achieve, what type of clients they want to support, and why they want to support them. On the other hand, a vision statement describes where the firm wants to see the most transformation in the world as a result of its services. Once you see your law firm as a business, you no longer proceed without having a mission and vision statement. You would ensure that all team members are familiar with what your firm stands for and the type of clients you constantly look out for. This also applies to how each team member approaches their work and the quality of service they deliver every time. SWOT analysis. The next step in the firm's business development planning process is to conduct a SWOT analysis. The main purpose of a SWOT analysis is to keep the firm updated on market and industry trends and to properly understand what the competition is up to. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. When considering your strengths, it may help to come from a different angle and view your firm as your clients would view you. In other words, approach the exercise from your client's perspective. This would help you determine what your clients would say your biggest weakness is. One way to determine your strengths and weaknesses is to send clients a survey after the end of each successful transaction. Some might disagree with this approach, but it helps draw feedback from clients at the including parts of your work. The fear of receiving negative feedback prevents a lot of businesses from submitting surveys to their clients, which keeps them blind to a lot of constructive criticism and recommendations on the way their team approaches work generally. The way your client sees your firm and the services you provide is important data that should not be taken for granted. It may also help to ask your employees and consultants you regularly do business with to give you feedback on what they think your strengths are. Some firms get valuable feedback from their peers as well, which helps understand how competitors view your service delivery team structure and brand image. Most people who complete a SWOT analysis find that they are better at identifying either their strengths or their weaknesses. This probably correlates with whether you are a glass half full or glass half empty type of person. Asking for outside help is most important for the areas you have a hard time seeing clearly. The SWOT analysis will be a significant part of your business development plan, so it is important to start by asking a few important questions that will help you focus on each aspect of this analysis. We have listed some of the most important questions your firm needs to answer, and the exercise can be done using the SWOT analysis worksheet provided. Strengths. Why do people choose your firm for representation? What makes your firm or individual transactions successful? What aspects of your firm do clients praise the most? What does your law firm do better than its competitors? Weaknesses? What factors hold your firm back the most from full potential? Which aspects of your firm are you least likely to brag about? What has caused your firm to lose business in the past? What practice areas do you wish your firm had more proficiency in? Opportunities. Do any of your strengths listed here reveal opportunities for your business? What technological advances could change the way you do business? What impending changes in the legal industry could affect your business? What upcoming events or trends could result in more business for your firm? What are some activities you wish your firm had time to do? Threats. What cash flow problems can you identify within your firm? What impending regulatory changes will affect your firm or main clients negatively? Who is your competition, and what are they doing differently? What are some of the biggest obstacles that prevent your firm from making more money? The answers to all of these questions should be provided in the most honest way possible. The aim here is to have as much information for decision-making regarding what strategies the firm chooses to implement in the future. Everyone knows they have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Making time to deliberate and properly identify all of these and assess their priority helps the firm to make better business development decisions that will affect the firm's marketing, branding, and overall image. It is important to write down all of the points that come up during this exercise and then transfer the most suitable into the business development strategy document. Over time, all of these points should be reviewed as conditions change in the legal market. Prioritizing this exercise helps your firm to feel less overwhelmed and in control of the entire process. This is also beneficial when the firm seeks to expand its sales team to reach more prospects. Once your team understands how your firm stands out above its peers, they will easily convert leads, and all of this can be attributed to the data they have at their disposal. This is all possible because the firm took its time to conduct a well-researched SWOT analysis. Smart goal setting. It is important to set SMART goals toward achieving progress in business development. Goals must be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. A business development plan that has SMART goals set for its implementation will be better aligned with the firm's mission and vision. There are no shortcuts with this process because the team is expected to utilize existing data and properly deploy practical expertise and resources available towards the success of the particular strategy. For example, if the goal is to increase the number of viable leads for the energy practice of the firm by 10%, all actions will be specific to this goal. Team members would know to focus on leads that fit into the profile for that particular practice area, which will be apparent in the type of communication methods and messaging they choose to adopt when dealing with leads. SMART goal setting is relevant to law firms because it helps you know how your business can grow. It also pushes your team to make a greater impact by contributing to the effective sale of legal services, which translates into boosting revenue for the firm. New team members will also understand what goals have been set for a particular practice area and will be able to identify where they can add the most value in helping the firm reach its business development goals. Budgeting for business development projects. How to successfully budget for your law firm's business development projects. Law firm business development can seem like a daunting task, but with a well-executed budget, it doesn't have to be. In this part of the course, we'll discuss how to create a budget for your law firm's business development projects and how to stick to it. We'll also provide some tips for making the most of your law firm's marketing budget. Defining your goals. When it comes to budgeting for your law firm's business development projects, it's important to start by defining your goals. What are you hoping to achieve with this project? Be as specific as possible in your goal setting. Are you looking to win more cases? Increase client referrals? Land a new client that will bring in a steady stream of business? Once you know what you're aiming for, you can start to figure out how much money you'll need to achieve those results. It's also important to be realistic in your goal setting. Don't aim for the moon and expect to have the budget to match. Rather, set achievable goals and then work backwards from there to determine how much money you'll need. Knowing your numbers. If you are taking this course, you're likely the decision maker for business development projects in your law firm. And that means you need to be familiar with your numbers. By knowing your costs and revenue projections, you can make better decisions about which projects to pursue. You'll also be in a better position to negotiate with vendors and make sure that your projects are profitable. So how do you go about getting this information? It's not as difficult as you might think. Start by calculating your fixed and variable costs. Fixed costs are those that don't change regardless of how much work you do, such as rent or office supplies. Variable costs, on the other hand, increase or decrease depending on how much work you do, such as employee salaries or marketing expenses. Once you have these numbers, you can begin to project your revenue for each project. This isn't an exact science, but it will give you a good idea of whether a project is likely to be profitable or not. With this information in hand, you can make smart decisions about how to allocate your firm's business development budget. Prioritizing your projects. It can be tough to know where to start when it comes to budgeting for your law firm's business development projects. But by prioritizing your projects and focusing on the most important ones, you'll be able to streamline the process and make the most of your resources. One way to prioritize your projects is by assessing their potential impact on your firm. Which ones are likely to bring in the newest clients or engagements? Which ones are going to make the biggest difference in terms of growth? Another way to prioritize is by considering the time and effort required for each project. The less time-consuming and complex a project is, the higher up it should rank on your list. If you're not sure where to start, our team at Nubianet can help. We have years of experience helping law firms succeed with their business development initiatives, and we're happy to share our expertise with you. Tracking your results. Tracking your results is an essential part of budgeting for your business development projects. You need to be able to measure the return on investment, ROI, of your efforts to determine whether or not a project is worth pursuing. There are a few different ways to track your results. Web analytics. This measures the number of visitors your website is receiving and the pages they are visiting. This information can help you determine which marketing efforts are most effective. Lead generation. Lead generation measures the number of leads you are generating as a result of your marketing efforts. This information can help you determine whether or not a particular campaign is successful. Sales results. Tracking sales results can help you understand how much business you're generating as a result of your marketing efforts. This information can help you decide whether or not to continue allocating resources to a particular project. Getting buy-in from your partners. One of the most important aspects of budgeting for your law firm's business development projects is getting buy-in from your partners. This means making sure everyone is on the same page and that everyone understands the importance of the project and is willing to contribute to it financially. It's also important to be realistic about what your firm can afford. Don't bite off more than you can chew and be willing to scale back or adjust your plans if necessary. Having a solid budget in place will help make this process much smoother. If you're having trouble getting your partners on board, try presenting them with a proposal that outlines the project in detail and explains why it's important for the firm. Show them how the project will benefit them individually and as a team, and be prepared to answer any questions they may have. Reviewing and adjusting your budget. Even if you've created a perfect budget the first time around, it's important to review and adjust it as you move forward. Things may change, and your budget should reflect that. Some things you may want to keep in mind when reviewing and adjusting your budget. Are your goals still the same? What's changed since you initially created your budget? Are there any new expenses to consider? Has anything changed with your current income or revenue? Can you afford to increase or decrease your spending in certain areas? What needs to happen for your budget to be successful? If you're unsure about whether or not something should be adjusted, it's always best to talk to someone else in your firm who may have a better understanding of finance and budgeting. Law firms are always looking for ways to improve their business development projects, but many struggles to successfully budget for these initiatives. By understanding the different types of costs associated with business development and planning, law firms can allocate the necessary funds and achieve their desired results. Measuring progress. Most firms seek to measure their business development success only by positive growth in their revenue. Since business development is not an activity that immediately yields results, it is important to have a variety of metrics or key performance indicators (KPI) that can be applied to get near-perfect measurements of the firm's business development success. A few ways to make this work is to periodically check for positive changes in the number of converted leads generated per month or quarterly, client satisfaction, and growth in the overall position of the firm in the market. This data added to the revenue generated will give a clearer picture of how the firm is doing. This data needs to be assessed over time and collected periodically to be compared to previous data in the same areas. An illustration of how well each area is performing will help the firm set more strategic goals for improving its overall performance. Standard client communication methods. The importance of client communication for lawyers has been highlighted in this section. A lawyer needs to be able to communicate effectively with clients and other stakeholders. Communication is the key to any profession, but it's especially true for lawyers. The legal field is rife with jargon and complicated procedures that can be difficult to understand. Lawyers must be able to communicate clearly with clients, other lawyers, judges, and anyone else involved in a case or transaction. The client-lawyer relationship is of utmost importance because it's the foundation of everything else in a law firm or courtroom. On the other hand, law firms, in general, are known for their client communication. They must have excellent client communication skills to be successful. They must be able to communicate with clients in a way that is easy to understand and keeps the client informed on the progress of their case. Some law firms may think that they can do this without any assistance from a copywriter, but this is not true. Copywriters help law firms by making sure that all of the content on their website is clear and concise, which helps them stand out from other law firms. Here are 5 ways to communicate better with law firm clients. Many law firms are struggling to communicate better with their clients. In this article, we list 5 ways that law firms can improve their communication skills. 1. Enhancing the quality of your written content is a very important goal for any law firm. While many different types of content are created in the modern workplace, it has been proven that written content is one of the most important aspects. It is also not too difficult to improve the quality of your writing if you have access to some great resources and information on how to do so. 2. Utilizing a CRM system will help you keep track of your client activity and stay on top of deadlines and deliverables. It helps identify relationships, understand the buying process, and build a long-lasting and trustworthy client base. 3. It is important for every law firm client to have the right communication channels in place and to be using them appropriately. Make sure that you have set up the required communication channels on their account and are monitoring them regularly so that you can keep them up to date with important notifications. 4. Send law firm clients a welcome letter as soon as they sign up with your firm. Not only will this help you build a relationship with your client, but it also helps you get to know them better and why they chose your firm above all others. 5. Do not be afraid to ask for feedback because any business needs to know that they are providing their clients with the best service possible. Make sure that once you receive the feedback, you follow up on it and try your best to address any issues or problems that were brought up in your client's review.